Hey everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. Today I'm actually building a community lot, which is not something I do very often, and we're building in the world of Copperdale here on the lot that ThrifTea is normally on. I bulldozed it. I felt like that was okay since I built it to begin with. I didn't feel bad about that. But we're actually making a record store today. This is something that I felt really inspired to do ever since we got the Basement Treasures kit, because we have that milk crate that's like full of records, and I immediately was like, yes, I need to make a record store. And then I remembered that we had this sign from Strangerville, and I actually didn't remember that there was a record like sign on it. I just knew it had some fun older timey things, and so I wanted to look through it, and it was perfect. The one I was originally thinking of, I think there's one that has a VHS on it, so I was thinking, we could use that and pretend, but this was just amazing, and it really inspired the color scheme of this whole building, the yellows and the blacks. I really, really enjoyed it, and I had a blast with this build. It's supposed to be a bit more of a rundown record store, but I think it is so cozy, and I didn't want it to be just sitting on its own here, so I actually attached another building to the side, which is going to be a little cafe as well, so we'll be decorating that in this build, and I hope you will enjoy it. If you like this build and you'd like to download it, it will be available on the Sims 4 gallery. You can find it under my EA ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi, and I'll have that info in the description down below as well. But the outside is coming together here. I really love these roof pieces I used from Strangerville to make this really interesting shape. That is something that I was kind of seeing similar things in the background of the world of Copperdale, and so I thought that I would try and replicate that. And then you could see I was looking through the other sign options on that particular item that I used for the record store sign, and I wasn't sure about it, and I actually don't end up keeping these windows over here on this other shop. I was just trying to get an idea of what I wanted over here, and then we'll come back and actually work on it after we complete the entire inside of the record store, which was my main focus of this build, but I think the little coffee shop cafe space comes out really nice too. Anyway, here I'm grabbing a bunch of posters to put on the windows. I thought that would be really fun. I think there are some really nice music themed posters, or like look like band posters that came with werewolves, so I decided to use some of that. And of course, I'm using the tool mod to rotate the posters ever so slightly to make them look a little bit more organically placed on these windows. And I just think it looks so cool. I was very excited about this build. I did build it over on Twitch first, so you might recognize it if you attend the Twitch streams. If not, I would highly suggest it. It is so much fun to hang out with y'all and like talk Sims and come up with fun ideas and implement a lot of those suggestions in real time. I do stream 3 days a week, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern time, so if you'd like to join us, it's just twitch.tv/Gryphi, and it's absolutely free. I would love to have you over there sometime. Anyway, we are inside now. I knew I wanted to have like a L-shaped front desk counter register space, and then I thought I was gonna have the bathroom behind that, and then somebody suggested that we should do like a recording studio, and I thought that was perfect. It immediately made me think of Life is Strange, and so I wanted to implement that. And I think this record store comes out super cute in the end. As you can see right now, I have brick going on. I knew I wanted to have carpeting in here, and we have a little bit more of a worn down counter. I wanted to use a couple of the items from the basement kit other than just the records to really get that vibe going on in here. So I have that really cute lamp. And then over here, I'm going to separate this into a sort of break room and a bathroom space. And I wanted it to bump out a little bit further just to add some visual interest in here, and I think that worked quite well. So the bathroom is actually going to be over on the right side, and then I'm going to have this like staff door over here sort of behind the desk, and then I'm just grabbing some of these decals from high school years. There are so many vinyl decals that I thought were so perfect to put all around this space, so I used quite a few of those, and I also used this poster from high school years as well. Honestly, we just have a lot of posters and stuff that look like band posters or some sort of music relation, so used quite a bit of those. And this is where I'm putting down the first of the buckets of vinyls that really inspired this whole build. I also really wanted to use this ottoman from City Living that has like some books or CDs or something in it. I thought it could kind of look like it was more vinyl, so I decided to use that, and this area ends up being where I put a record player. This one is from Get Famous, and I just try and cover the sides and stuff of it to make it blend in a little bit better. It's not perfect, and this idea was actually inspired by one of my good friends who is also a content creator. Her name is Gryphi. She's a Twitch streamer. I'm going to link her stream down below. She is amazing at creating small spaces and combining items to create new things. And I think y'all would really like her. So I'm going to link her channel down below. Please check her out if you get the chance. She's absolutely lovely. I've gotten to meet her in person as well. And I just love Gryphi. So I think you should check her out. But be warned, she's not family friendly. Anyway. With that, this little section looks really good in my opinion. I was quite happy with it. I used the old bookcase next to it that also came with the basement kit. And then I'm adding this other bookcase behind the counter. That one is from the Discover University pack, but I like how it's kind of makeshift and old. And then I added the TV that we got with the basement clutter kit as well. It's just so good. I also really wanted to add the fan in here. Yeah, this fan came with Get to Work, I'm pretty sure, and it just feels like a really old fan. It's like the air condition. There is no air conditioning here. They have to keep cool somehow, so I liked the idea of that. And then just try to figure out what to put over here in this space. I end up rotating one of these ottomans that I used over on the other side with tulle to make it look like it's like a bucket that you can like flip through everything in, kind of like what you would see in actual record stores. So trying to mess around with that here. And then I tried to cover the legs on the bottom with this shelf, once again scaling and moving with tulle. It took a lot of fiddling, but I think it came out okay in the end. I was quite happy with it. And then we're just getting some more clutter to put up on the desk. I end up getting all sorts of boxes and papers, and there ends up being some headphones up there a little bit later. I just wanted the space to feel a little bit messy, but like not exactly dirty. I guess the walls are a little bit dirty because they're old. I believe I used a combination of the new wallpaper from the basement clutter kit, as well as like some from City Living and things like that. I also kept trying to bring brick in, and I can't remember where I keep it because I was being really indecisive about where I wanted everything. But we're getting some more of these decals over here from high school years, and I get an old rug on the floor as well. I do end up putting a couple of scuffs on the floor from the basement treasures kit as well. We ended up getting a new like floor decal, which has some of the swatches are like water, some are kind of like tire marks, and then there's some mold ones. So I added a little bit of that around, but I don't think the whole place looks disgusting. It just looks worn down and kind of cozy. I honestly love this space so much. I think it's going to be a fun one to have your Sims visit, and I believe I set this lot as a cafe, so that way your Sims can actually go to the cafe portion next door, get a coffee and stuff, and then you can kind of pretend they're looking through records in here. Because I could set stuff for you to buy in here as a retail store, but you would just be buying items, not actual records. So I thought the best way to do it was that you could come in here, listen to some music with whatever drink you bought next door or any snack. I thought it would be kind of a fun way to go about that. I also decided to add a guitar in here if your Sims want to play some music. And then we're adding a bunch of clothes over here, thinking those were like band tees and stuff like that you might see in a store like this. So grabbing all of that. I also really liked this piece of art that I put behind the couch. I think that one's from Get Together. This old guy, I just love him so much. Something about that piece I've always really enjoyed. And I thought he fit perfectly over here. And then I just got some like movie posters, which could also be like cover art for different bands and stuff. It could really be anything. This could also be like a mixture of a record store and like pop culture. It's really up to you and how you see it, but I was having a lot of fun figuring out how to decorate the space and making it feel really not lived in because nobody's living here, but like it's actively being used and a little bit messy and cluttered, and I think it looks really cool. So anyway, just adding some magazines over here, and I also end up getting some business cards. I believe I'm looking for those now. Yeah, they're from Dine Out. Just trying to fill in the space. I also will be getting some more clutter items from the Everyday Clutter Kit. There's like a box of mail and stuff that hasn't been gone through, and I thought that would look nice here. There it is. And in the recording studio, I actually put a couple of items that I thought would be really nice in there. There ends up being a DJ station, as well as, I think it's actually a station to create music. I don't remember exactly what it's called. It's from Get Famous, but I put both of those in the recording studio, so it has like some usable items in there, which was really fun. Those are items I almost never use, so I was excited about that. And then the The like break room is just kind of a mini kitchenette. I believe it has a fridge, a microwave, and a counter, and that's it. And the bathroom has everything you would expect. I also played around with adding this neon light from the Moschino pack. Here are those headphones I mentioned earlier. And then I think we're finally moving on into the recording studio. I wanted to get some better walls in here, and then we're looking for all of the different pieces. So this is the first thing I added, and then I grabbed the DJ station as well, which actually has more of those crates with records on them. So I thought that was so perfect for this space. I also got like a couple of things hanging on the walls, like maybe some sort of certification, schedule of when people are using the space, all of that sort of stuff, and a couple of posters. It's pretty simple in here, but I think it gets the point across. And I didn't want this space to look as cluttered because I feel like you would want the acoustics in there to be really good. So anyway, adding a dumpster out back and moving the door around. This is going to be that break space. I don't keep the carpet in there. I actually end up putting the tile and stuff back to be just like the bathroom. But we have an old microwave and an old fridge in here, and I end up getting some upper head cabinets as well. And I think the only piece of clutter I put in here is like the jar with all the receipts on it that came with the everyday clutter kit. But here's the bathroom, just getting all of your necessary stuff, plus some spills and stuff on the floor and some cracks and tears on the walls, trying to just make it look a little bit older. This is not a new space, so I wanted it to really show that off. And that should be it for the record store, other than some landscaping outside. And then we should be moving on to the store next door, which is going to be our little cafe. So I changed it to blue, and I ended up using these windows from the Industrial Loft kit. I think they are so beautiful. I really wanted this to be a very small cafe that kind of, I don't know how to explain the vibe of it. It's a little bit eclectic and cozy. I don't know. It's a little space. You'll see when we get inside. It has like a couple of mismatched things, like different chairs, and we have like an old Victorian lamp in there. I'm saying Victorian. It's from the Vampires pack. I don't know if you would call it a Victorian lamp, but it's cute. And it doesn't really match anything else, but I like that about it. And I just think the whole space looks really nice. And then on the back of the building, I just felt like it was a little bit empty. So I decided to add some greenery, and I wanted it so you could come up on the rooftop of the cafe space. And so I put a couple of chairs over there. I also have a bubble blower up here, and I believe we get some rugs and a couple of planters. It's pretty simple. And then towards the end of the build, I decided to add some graffiti up there as well, just so it would have a little bit of extra detail, and I could imagine that happening in this space. So it's just a cozy hangout area up there. I was kind of thinking this would be a good spot for young adults or teens to come hang out. I mean, that's originally what this lot was, ThrifTea, like with the thrift store and bubble tea shop. Except this time it's a record store and actual tea shop or coffee shop. So same kind of idea, two different lots in one, but it's just set as a cafe. Anyway, inside now you can see how small this space actually is. We're just getting our coffee counter and a fridge and all of that sort of stuff over here. A couple of chairs to wait in. I'm actually going to change out those chairs to be different ones. I was just placing them down to figure out the layout in here, and then I will be getting some aprons behind the counter and figuring out some of the other decorations. Both this shop and the one next door both have a jukebox. I just thought it looked really cute. And then I got some of these frames up here from Paranormal, a little broom over there, and I ended up using the curtains from high school years. They are just so pretty. And I remembered that this decal existed from the Industrial Loft kit that has the little teacup on it. It was so perfect for this space. I really love how that came out. And then this corner is where I put that lamp from Vampires. I also end up using the new plant that we got with the basement kit and some like artwork and stuff over here. We end up getting some lamps on the tables. It's just like a really cozy space, but it doesn't feel like new and pristine. I don't know if you understand the vibe I was going for. I don't know if I'm explaining it well, but I think this space is really cool. I really loved how this came out as well, even though I didn't even have this in mind when I started building. I just really wanted to create a record store, but I'm glad that I got to do a cafe as well, because that also makes this lot a little bit more functional. So your Sims can come here and do something and then just like go hang out next door. So I really hope you enjoyed this build. We're getting closer to the end now. So definitely let me know what you think of this, what other community lots or other builds in general you would like to see on the channel. I'd love to do some more. This was so much fun. And yeah, if you liked this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. We are so close to 200,000 subscribers. Like I think under 500 right now, 500 away. So like I don't normally like beg for subscribers, and I'm not. I would very much appreciate it. That is a wild number. I cannot believe we are near that whatsoever. So thank you so much for all of your support. It really means the world to me. Thank you for changing my life. So yeah, getting all sappy here in the middle of a build, but that's okay. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the screenshots, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.